Thank you, FLGM, for that high-quality intro. I am Danny, and joined by my co-host. No, I'm John even. Holy cow. Great. John.
Did you forget where you were?
What
are you even doing?
Yeah, well, we're in this beautiful warehouse. Who even knows? What are we even doing here? Welcome to Grim After Dark. This is the lighter look at 40K live on the FLGN. And yeah, that's about all I have for that. Danny, you want to jump into some hot news action?
I'm always up for some hot news, John.
Okay, I was worried because the 3-second delay looking back made me worry. That's okay. So really want to start touching on Games Workshop launched their new queue system. So giving everyone not only the ability to get new releases and make sure that they have their opportunity to get something, but also enjoy, a nice typical queue. They get into the personally, I've always been ordering my product from frontlinegaming.com, where I can order my Games Workshop product and save 15% on the manufacturer price. Talking about selling out, Games Workshop, they're doing a US Open series. And man, are those tickets going fast. Danny, Austin is sold out. No more tickets in Texas.
That's amazing.
Team Texas just eating all the tickets in Austin. But there's 2 more dates available. You have one in New Orleans and then Orlando, Florida.
What's with the O names? Like, I mean, I get it, right? Like, there's a lot of O name cities that they're so Austin. I mean, that almost is kind of an O sound almost, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. Orlando being like, that theme park capital. So you can play 40K and send your family to Disney World.
It's really important to me, Danny, that you don't think Austin.
Don't tell me how to pronounce or think about how words sound. You can't do that. That's not allowed.
But Games Workshop running 3-day, 256-person tournaments in 3 major hotels. Playing in them gets you your ITC points as well, which is great. Kind of keep racking that score up. And then, Danny, they did announce some terrain maps as well, which was super interesting.
Man, talk about hype. I am like the epitome of the hype train. Like, I'm over here chewing, like I'm ready to go. Having defined terrain maps is such a huge step in the right direction. I'm very excited to see how that kind of percolates through the rest of the 40K tournament scene. I hope that becomes a trend, not just a one-off that Games Workshop is doing right.
Love it. Good. Also, it's October and July. Who knew that October and July? As everyone's favorite mushroom-based army gets new boys, characters, squig writers, squig writing characters, and everything to complement all of the 8,000 different buggies that came out last year. We have some players for comment, and the only person who replied was an Aldari player who just screamed into the void about Phoenix Lords or something similar about that. I'm not sure. What do you think of these new orcs coming out?
Well, first of all, I can't believe orcs came out in October anyway in the first place. But let's talk about those models are super awesome, right? Like the squig riders are amazing. The knob on the squig that just hammers people with his head, amazing. I love that war boss with as our friend Taylor said, with the pencil mounted grot. Gotta love that guy. He's got a giant chopper. That's awesome. So I'm super excited to see what all these orcs do, and in addition, being a bunch of toughness 5 orcs sounds super enticing. Very excited.
I'm not enticed by that whatsoever. The idea of a whole bunch of T5 boys, 100, not exciting for me in any way possible.
Don't you have an orc army, John?
But the models. I do, but as you get older, and we're going to go into this later, the risks for moving all those models. You can't really do it anymore. You got to have those low model count armies now to really kind of maximize your game.
My rest speed is really going down too. Fair.
This is an important thing that's never covered in statistics is wrist motions per minute. And I think that's something that really needs to start tracking, is just asking every top player to just do a lot of wrist-based motions at the start of their games to make sure they're in top physical condition.
Just get themselves one of those shake weights. It'll be great.
Heck yeah. Shake weight away. Now we're going to go a little bit away And then,
Oh,
yes, Chad, thank you. It is flg.org. Thank you so much for my terrible sellout of it there. Into AOS a little bit here. Dominion is coming out, which marks the launch of Age of Sigmar 3.0. And this box has become an instant must-have for 40k tryhards wanting a preview of 10th edition rules with new terrain interactions, spell movement abilities, and of course the addition of the Scouring to match play, which is everyone's favorite mission. Danny, what are some things from the AO 3.0 that you're looking forward to seeing 40k?
I can't wait to see that Cruel Boy wizard turn into a Weird Boy. I think that's going to happen an awful lot. But yeah, no, I'm excited to get kind of a jump start on these new rules, and like I don't know, AOS is always fun, so it'll be really interesting to see kind of which rules kind of come into each individual, or like which rules are ported over, and it looks like AOS gained a lot of the 40k coherency rules and things like that, so it's always interesting to see exactly like which rules that they share in common and which one has some rules that the next edition of the game will borrow.
Yeah. And also you can use those new models to not only give yourself a pintle-mounted grot, but a pintle-mounted pot grot, which I think is something everyone needs in their orc army there.
Yeah, sure, pot grot. Love it.
For sure. Gunz Ghosts, they're back, giving up 50 points to the secondary in exchange for endless grenades. Danny, do these people see a place in an Imperial Guard list, or are we really just beautiful like every model type for them?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that rule is worded in the actual data sheet. But right now, it's kind of worded that you get an infinite number of grenades. I'm sure it'll be fixed. I've got faith. But man, amazing models for probably one of the most iconic fluff units in the entire game. I'm very excited to see those guys drop. That should be really cool.
Yeah, beautiful. And then lastly, move on here. Chapter Approved 2021. It's out for a detailed review, actually, of what's in that. Please check out Mob Rules episode 139, where Danny and I go in depth into Chapter Approved 2020. The bigger change, though, was the recently released FAQs, which have had a really big impact on the game. So, Danny, what are some of the big changes that we're seeing from these FAQs?
Well, obviously, we saw that change to Drukhari, that increase in points on Drazar and the Raiders. That's pretty significant. Also, the nerf of that a million attack succubus is good as well. So, interested to see kind of some of the new builds and things that people are taking for the different succubi. Yeah, some interesting clarifications on how triangles work. And sorry,
who would have known?
Yeah, who would have known? And then I don't know. Yeah, FAQs are great. Always good to get some more detailed information on how the game is supposed to be played.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're here. We're having fun, but we have someone who's been here the entire time. Just off camera. Right, left, off camera left. We have Brett Chester.
Brett Chester.
He's just going to be hanging out to the side, listening to us make terrible jokes.
I kind of thought you guys forgot about me. I was going to go get something to eat.
Well, I didn't want to forget about you like I forgot about that liquefier change. So, let's just make sure that, that we catch that too. So
that didn't affect my army at all.
Oh, really? Not even a little?
Not even a little. It's not like I was running 6 units of racks and 2 units of grots with liquefiers. But those were hit. Somebody's got to tell me about these FAQs.
Oh, I know. Well, pre-FAQ or post-FAQ now, but the event, the Atlantic City Open, Frontline Gaming's first major in a long time. Brad, you came off winning that with Drukhari, with pre-FAQ Drukhari. Tell us a little bit about that list going into it and kind of what your thoughts were behind it.
I actually went all in on the liquefier gun just because I was deathly afraid of AdMech and the planes and things of that nature. And I didn't think I was getting it done with my original list, which I'm going back to now because my current list doesn't exist. So I went pretty hard into that. I was running mainly Witch Cult before then. And this event I actually ran double Covenant and Witch Cult. Cold of Strife, of course, because Book of Rust exists, so there is no other cult. So, but I ran triple succubus. I had a succubus running everyone, triptych whip with that competitive edge. Probably the most consistent character in the game for the point 60. It's just crazy. You effectively just say, I'm doing 10 wounds to you. Just deal with it. Make peace with the fact that that's happening. Move on with your life. The spikiest character in the world, the Razor Flail, Dark Toxin blows with Dark Toxin, Dark Lotus Dog, whatever the hell it's called. Do 1 more damage. And precision blows. So every 6 is a 2 mortals. So sometimes she does 10 mortals and sometimes she doesn't wound anybody and gets killed. And then they ruled that I couldn't use my suicide succubus, so I ended up taking the bonus succubus with a glaive. But then I literally had 6 units of Rex, 2 units of grotesque, 2 units of witches, the bonus witch, 5-man witch with a just took the +2 to move so they can go do whatever. 3 units of incubi because I heard they're pretty decent for 80 points. And a 10-man unit of Hellions, and I so wish I had 2 units of Hellions all weekend long. They were MVPs all the time.
Just the 1 unit was the MVP. That's really cool.
Just their movement and the fact that they have a 2 damage weapon, it just offered so much threat. A lot of times they were sacrificial lamb, but they just did stuff the entire week, be it threaten, be it grab. In the finals, I just grabbed all the Chronos, for instance. They were always kind of really threatening on the board. And the 2 damage and also being a part of the Cold Strife, you can just pop that 2 CP to reroll all wounds is pretty huge, especially when you're looking at AP1 or AP2, and then you're looking at 2 damage every time you fail. They hit things they have absolutely no business hitting, and they also threaten things like planes and stuff. So,
and did you roll for drugs for those, or did you just keep it like?
I'm a greedy man, and I always roll for my drugs. You said I can get 2 instead of 1. I mean, yes, sometimes I get weapon skill and ballistic skill, and I cry just a little bit right here, single tier. But you can't roll doubles on them or anything like that. So you get two drugs, and most of them are really, really useful. I lean back and forth sometimes at picking one. Like the 5-man unit of witches, I always choose +2 movement. And I sometimes actually think about either choosing attack or movement. But I'm just the greed in me just says, nah, let's just roll and see what happens. What bad can happen with dice rolling? There's nothing bad that's ever happened, right?
I was going to say, dice never lie. Yeah, dice are always good for you.
They're always good.
So I was going to say, in the final round, you played fellow team member, fellow Art of War member, Nick Nanavati. How much trash talking happened at the table before that, or did you just point out you'd already beaten him in that event?
I told him I had already beaten him, and this was a better mission for me versus him. I actually did. I didn't. I tell you the truth. I was so happy he beat Siegs with Siegs's just anti-Tau, his anti-Dark Elder Tau army. And I haven't played Tau in a competitive against anyone competitively in a long time. So I was like, I don't 100% sure if he's got any tricks that I don't exactly know what to do with. So I've never cheered for Nick to win so much as I did against Siegs. Love you, Siegs, but I really didn't want to play that.
There's nothing more sporting than I really hope you don't win because I don't want to play you.
Well, I kind of wanted vengeance after we tied and then he won the tiebreaker at LVO. I haven't played him. That's like our only game. So I'm currently 0-1 against Siegler right now. And it was a tiebreaker. So I'm still too soon. We haven't even had an LVO and it's too soon. I was like, those dang eliminators killing my guy to get him kill one and kill more.
It's the worst. So you're with Art of War, another kind of a YouTube network here. Tell us a little bit about Art of War and what your role is with them.
I am one of the time that I'm pretty sure I'm the tallest and youngest coach. So that's one of the biggest things there. But we go do everything from work with everybody from everything from list building to like basically tournament preparation, basically forever, basically making you from a 0 to 10, any step along the way. So I think it's a big deal. I get very overly involved with all the things I do at this. So I want to see everybody super succeed when I work with anybody. So we do lots of content. We're putting out tons of games on YouTube and everything, but we also just offer. We work with everybody on everything 40K related. I mean, I will life coach you if you want me to. I'll also step into that.
Would that be good advice?
I mean, can you not trust advice from somebody considered old man Brad that they put who they motto holding a wine glass? I mean, would you ever think I would give you bad life advice?
No, probably not. I mean, you've lived this long, so clearly you're doing something right.
just barely. You're like, whoa! People are coming in from every side, going, kind of. I mean,
so your list was pre FAQ, so obviously a lot of the tricks and things that went into that beforehand no longer apply. What are some changes that you would make to your list now to kind of make it a really good Drukhari list post FAQ?
I am already ready with that. I was ready, kind of ready pre. So the list
this isn't the first podcast you've done in the rounds. I think contractually you have to win something.
You know, I also came from Atlantic City and I live in Toledo and we drove there. So I had plenty of time to talk in the car with the other guys about what I was going to do. You're like, hey guys, you want to hear another one of my list ideas? And everybody's like, nope, but you're not going to shut up. So I guess we can't go anywhere. So I guess we're going to hear it. You know, like, also, I changed 33 points on it, and I feel that I have to tell you everything about the list to tell you about that 33 points. No, but I really liked a few things that I've been playing against. For instance, I blatantly stole the Court of the Archon from Nick's list. I really like that in his list. I felt it was very irritating to get rid of. A lot of wounds, a lot of attacks, just kind of not very many points for a whole lot of stuff. So I'm actually going to go to a double witch cult, both strife, of course, because again, the other cults apparently are still waiting for government substance. So I'm going with both the succubuses that I had before. I'm going to go with double hellions because I love them. Flying is cool. Double 2 10-man witches again with the Chardonnay Impalers. Then I'm going to go with, double mandrakes. That was one of the things that I really, really missed over the weekend. I didn't have mandrakes in my list. I had them before. And with so many things right now being able to forward deploy or get first turn moves and stuff, scout moves and things of that nature, I think it's really important to have those in your list, because you can just negate some of the just tricks of people just getting right up on top of you, be it Dominion squads, be it any of the, basically all of the AdMech and sister shenanigans that are coming that I need to worry about. And then I have my 3 units of Incubi. I took a unit of Trueborn, that Court of the Archon I told you about, the Fight Last Archon. Then I really scaled back on the Raiders just because of the fact that there's so many people trying to make sure that they can put down rides right now that I felt they were bringing too many in the what I feel is going to be the new current environment, the new current meta. I felt was going to be a little bit of a liability. So I went with, I think it's 3 Raiders now in the new list. I think it's 3, or it might be 4. Sorry.
That's a significant decrease. Like, that's pretty interesting.
Well, I went with more stuff that's just fast. So I basically have 2 witches in there. Both units of witches, and then I have the Incubi in there, and then I have a unit. Yeah, it is 4. So I have 1 Incubi and just straight up starting on foot, and then I've got Trueborn starting in there, 2 witches starting in there, then 2 5-man Incubi starting in there, and then I've just got more. I actually have more units in that list than I had in the old list. I had 25. I think I have 27 in the new list total because I had a lot of smaller units now. I really like a MSU type of playstyle, because I feel like even when I'm in matches that I'm not favored in, I still have that opportunity to score. I can do the new retrieve Octarius data. That just really flows off the tongue. Super good title.
It's the raw.
Scramblers, too tough. Yeah. But like things like that, you have the opportunity. And I say this all the time with a lot of armies, though, even when you're not the top army, if you bring stuff that scores secondaries and score primaries, you can always win. Because there's a lot of games I play where it looks like I'm just getting pounded off the table, and you go, "Hey, did you get crushed?" I'm like, "No, I won by 30." They're like, "Oh, cool." Just you have to have the tools, basically. At least let yourself win, and I like doing that. Also, I'm pretty sure I have the attention span of a small child, so I need a lot of units all over the board to keep me. A lot of shiny things on the board to make me happy.
That's fair. Now we do have some rumors here that you are jumping away from Drakari soon here.
Oh, I drive the bandwagon. It does not matter when I've got artwork for that of me driving the bandwagon. I have no shame. If there's a better codex, I already threw mine in the garbage, set it on fire, walked away like an '80s action movie exploding behind me, and I'm just wandering away.
So cool guys don't look at Drakari in the rear view. What is Chester looking at next?
I'm too poor to get AdMech, I think, right now. So,
oh man,
you can afford 120 Atari models.
Those guys are so expensive. I keep thinking of that. I keep looking at that army. Then I go, ooh, I don't know where I'd have to get that from. I couldn't donate enough. No one wants any of my organs because nothing works. So I can't even sell myself on the black market.
Well, you can sell yourself. But.
I am looking forward to from what I've seen and from everything they said model wise. And one of my good friends, Mr. Pajama Pants, is a frantic orc fanatic, and he makes all of the stuffs. And he's a conversion master. I think that I'm going to jump into orcs when they come out. It really depends on the final, obviously that final book. Let's be fair. I'm not going to play anything that's not unbelievably powerful, but I also like to play things that are super cool. But I also think right now that there's a lot of armies that can't handle just a huge amount of models. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of armies that just, you put a lot of, especially all those OBSEC pieces and stuff on the board, and there's just a ton of armies out there where you can get a free win. And the thing is my wife goes with me a lot. I will play orcs if she's always with me because she basically picks up all my models and puts them back on a tray that says that I could use them. She does this mostly half out of love, half out of pity, because she sees what I look like after I play a game, and I'm all crinkled over and old, and just my back's barely moving. She's like, come, just go ahead and sit down. I've got this.
We need a tableside helper for our games, Danny, to move our models for us.
We should hire one.
Oh, we really should. Yeah. No, we're rolling in all this warehouse money. I'm going to hire a table helper.
As you can see by our set.
Highest budget show, lowest rated in quality, but that's okay. We started at the bottom, so we can only keep going down from there.
It's just like New Jersey.
Yeah. Danny, starting strong with Shaded New Jersey. Love it. Danny, you had a question about a specific model?
Oh, man. Hey, so tell me the story of exactly how a raider fell down an elevator shaft.
Oh, my God. This is going to go in infamy forever. I'm still bad about this, too, by the way. So I'm also a little bit infamous in the fact that I may or may not take care of my models at all. But so I had already, it literally lost the side fin parts anyways. It was the backup raider. I'm getting off the elevator. I had to show this elevator to multiple people, by the way, because if you're in Harris and you're in the one elevator, it has a way bigger gap when you get off of the ground floor. And I know this because a dude bumped my cart, and I might have been kind of willy-nilly with how everything's just sitting on the cart. And a raider apparently decided it was sad and jumped into the abyss and literally went into the crack down to the elevator shaft. And the guy that hit it either gave zero cares or was not a 40K guy, didn't realize what was going on. The better part was, I'm not even sure the gentleman's name, but thank you for the intent, literally was holding the doors open and just like looking at me like, go for it. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do, man. Like, I can't dive in the elevator shaft. So at some point in time, there's going to be a maintenance guy that's going to wonder why a toy, his ship apparently, is in the elevator shaft. Luckily for me, Sean Naden randomly had an extra raider, and I was able to grab it for the rest of the, that happened day 2. So for the rest of the tournament, I drove around in one pretty Sean Naden raider for the rest of the thing. Yeah. So literally I had a raider plummet to the depths of the abyss at Harris and Atlantic City.
And I think that's a really good call up for next year's ACO for the event packet to remind people that the elevator has a one raider size gap.
Only in the one, by the way, the one elevator, because it opens slightly more on the one side.
I'm thinking we can sell tickets to a new event called the Treasure Hunt. where we spelunk in the basement and try and find the access shaft for maintenance to that said elevator and get in there and find what is inevitably going to be not just a raider but several rhinos.
I had I had beaten up
maybe a
on so many
riptide.
models over the weekend that after the weekend I wasn't allowed to have my army back because my buddy Kramer Doyle literally went, "I'm taking your army home and I'm fixing it before you're allowed to play it again."
Oh man, but why would you do that? Because he should know by this point you're just going to break it again. So
My friends are
It
very
seems
nice to me. They all feel for my feeble nature and they just accept it. They
it
go,
seems that way. But yeah,
"Ah."
your poor, feeble, tournament winning, major winning.
I mean, I'm
anyways.
I'm good at like 3 things. Like that's about everything else. I only had X amount of character points to put in my into me, and I really tried to max out certain things, and I ignored all the rest.
Then that's all you can do.
Totally min maxed. Yeah.
I'm a min, my armies min max. There you go, baby. I'm ready to go.
So the majority of people watching this here will not have sort of experience in kind of a top 8 situation at a major. When you make that top 8 and you make that cut, kind of what is the feeling in that group? Like, how is that group together? Is it kind of a scenario where you're seeing all the same old people and you're like, oh, hey, welcome? Or kind of, yeah, what is that group like?
It's
post-cut?
really a lot of the sound people that we played a lot together. And the thing is I actually think that we've said this for a while. Actually, I think that the top and the bottom of the tables are the best places to play. Tell you the truth, because you actually get more relaxed games at the very, very top a lot of times. Because people know each other, they know exactly, they want to play by intent because they want to have that feeling of accomplishment when they win a lot of times. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people do on that. So you get games that are just, I'm trying to do this, this, and this, and we go back and forth. And then at the lower tables, you get the same thing. You get people that want to do beer and pretzels, 40K. It's just sometimes you get people are kind of intense sometimes in the middle until you get there. But the top, I love being at the top. I wish we had a stream. That was the thing that was missing. I do like playing on stream. I'm a pretty princess. People need to pay attention to me when I play 40K.
Absolutely, and I can confirm your stories about the bottom tables. By the way, personally, I can confirm the quality of those. Real beer and pretzels.
But I think a lot of people, I want to play, I want to win, but I also want to have a great time. If you see me, I'm always bringing. I'll have my wine in one hand. I'll be pretty happy to play. I mean, in the end, you can't even tell other people about this. You can't go to your non-40K people and go, here's why I'm mad about playing with my toys. And they're like, hey man, you should probably just chill out for just a second, let it go past and move on with your life.
Let me tell you how disappointed my coworkers are when they saw I put in for 2 trips to Vegas this year for time off. They go, hey, you gonna go party? And I'm like, yeah, party. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, sure. Yeah, you will. It'll be party.
Oh, you know it. We have a question here. Where is it here? Is there any list or person you would have liked to avoid?
Other than Siegler,
I'm guessing. And I guess when he says person, I'm assuming it's personality-wise too. So difficult list and awful people. No, I'm kidding. So is there like a list that you would want to avoid going forward that just isn't much fun for you to play into?
There's nothing that's not fun to me to play into. There's tougher matchups on it. Some of the lists that are really designed to pick up stuff. And I think that my list going forward, as long as I have terrain, like the terrain where you guys were talking about I'm really happy about them putting out for the GW events, things of that nature. Anytime that you have places to hide, places that you can make tactical decisions, I'll play into pretty much anything. Things that are very tough to play against are AdMech. Mark Herter's list was very, very strong. I had to play him as my fifth opponent. That's a terrifying list. Just because he can pick up so many things in any one phase. There's nothing quite like just walking across the board and you're having your opponent go, hey, you're still T3 with a bad save, right? Yep. Okay, just want to make sure. I have a lot of guns that just want to make sure that was the case.
And the worst part is, like, after that next codex comes out, it's an even better list now, I think, right?
Exactly. It's just, it becomes, like, just even more powerful and more durable. Anytime you can have 20 guys that cost almost nothing go, hey, we're going to ignore AP 1 and 2 and have a 2-up save. You have any problem with that? I'm like, kind of. Like, well, too bad. Because we're going to shoot you.
Like, sorry, I can't hear you over the 8,000 dice I'm rolling for that.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many sixes. Also, do you know that we can do exploding sixes? Just in case you were wondering. But yeah, that I people wise, most everybody's cool, dude. I mean, there's the exception out there, but like most of the time, everybody's super excited. I had some really great games this weekend. Everybody was super cool. We shared drinks, we shared stories, we just hung out. Games win or lose, you know what I mean? Everybody was very, very cool, no matter what the score typically. So there's tougher list of and I think anybody that tells you different is just lying. Anytime you win a 9-game event, and I've been in multiples of these. I've Adepticon, I've won Nova, I've won this, you know. And anytime you win any of those, you ask any of the top players, there's some luck that goes along, man. If you play, everybody loses. That guy that says he doesn't lose, he's about to lose that next game because everybody loses. It's a dice rolling game, and you got to get a little luck. I played my second game. I went second, and we just had no terrain on that particular board against a double Night Spinner, triple D Cannon, all the rest Dark Eldar. With Dark Reaper list. And my opponent just kind of pooed the bed, rolling ones in the first turn, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot easier than it was before. I was a little puckered going in, but I mean, you have a couple luck moments here and there, you know what I mean, that kind of spin things around. You make a long charge, you make a few saves, and those things go up and down, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you have to have a great battle plan. You have to be making good decisions to put yourself in that position to win the game, but there's always going to be some luck, man. If you roll all ones, things aren't going to work out for you. If you roll all sixes, things sometimes work out for you.
Man, I've never seen Danny more irritated than when I refused to roll anything under a 5 for like an entire phase. It was fantastic. Nice games. Who knew? Who knew?
You're like, hey, I got Terminators. I'm the best player in the world. 5 ups, here I
go. I'm just the captain of a submarine over here. That's all I do.
Oh, man. Don't even get me started.
So ACO was the first real giant major in a long time because of COVID. So take me through kind of like what it felt like to kind of be back in that environment again after so long.
It was fantastic. It was funny because I had showed up when COVID first started to break in the small events. And I remembered, oh yeah, this is what I like about playing 40K. Afterwards, talking to your friends, going out to eat with that ridiculously big group that no one can seat at any restaurant, but we all assume that we're all going to be seated in 2 minutes. A party of 20? What do you mean you don't have a table ready for me right away? Talking about failing your charges. Everybody's got their random dice stories and everything. That's my favorite part of 40K is the afterward. You know what I mean? The at lunch, the at dinner, you know what I mean? The drive home, the flight, whatever. It brought everybody, and I thought about stuff, and I really liked it. I mean, I saw people that I talk to all the time, but I haven't actually physically seen in over, almost 2 years. Like Sean and I talk twice a week, every week minimum. And he just goes, I haven't been in person with you in almost 2 years here. Like, it's just crazy. But also people that you do shows and you meet people, that you have your screen name, and all of a sudden people were popping up going, I'm Inquisitor Death Monkey, you see Chad. I'm like, oh, cool. It's somebody that maybe you've talked to a million times in chats and stuff like that, but you didn't have a face because we've been so separated by COVID for so long. And now it's like so fun to just, hey man, let's go get a drink. Let's go get a sandwich. Let's go, let's just go hang out. Let's do whatever. Like, oh yeah, this is why I like playing 40K, having fun with the community, having fun with all your friends, meeting all those extended friends. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, I know people from all around the world that also like to be old men and play with toy soldiers. Let's go chat about that. Let's find other people that like to talk about nerdy stuff as much as I do. Let's hang out. It was great. It was literally just great. It felt so good to have so many people around from everywhere, basically, because we had so many, a lot of people came in with the super majors, just people all across the country.
John and I are both extremely jealous, right? Like
absolutely.
Yeah, we are so looking forward to going to some bigger events that like this year and early next year. Very, very excited. That camaraderie and like the afterglow of the event, right? Which is like, when you're all talking about your games and, and just having a couple of drinks and relaxing and like socializing is such a huge part about what I miss about going to tournaments. So I'm right there with you.
It's so huge, and you find out stuff, and just you become, I don't know, you become better socially and in the game because you play higher competition. You find out new ideas. You get to basically throw off stress. You're on a maid. You're like, I mean, it's great to talk about not real life stuff. You're like, hey, what was the biggest problem that you had this weekend? 2 12-inch charges were made against me. Like, that sounds so much better than real people problems. You know?
Nothing can truly prepare a Chili's greeter for a party of 20 on a Saturday night from one of these events. And like you guys were saying, like, honestly, like, that's the best part of the day isn't necessarily the 3 preceding rounds. It's the complaining about everything or celebrating everything afterwards.
Yeah, totally.
And, like,
totally.
TGI Friday, where, like, again, some poor girl is splitting a check between 20 people, and just like that kind of camaraderie is something like we've definitely missed, and I think is the thing I'm most excited about for getting back to the competitiveness.
And then you can get stopped by TSA agents who just don't know what the hell's in your bags again.
Oh yeah,
I do have a good one about that. Mr. Greg Sparks defeated a TSA agent one time. They pull
like
over
in single combat?
He mentally and physically and emotionally defeated him. The guy pulls his case aside, and it's got all the models and all the modeling things and everything in it. And the guy starts to like inspect it, and Greg just goes on this long tirade about everything 40K and the history of it. And the guy finally just closed the thing and just goes, "Go ahead, man. Just like, you could have a bomb right now. I don't care. Just literally go ahead. Like, I don't want to hear any more about what's happening. Like, please stop.
Please leave."
Yes, I don't care.
Of course, Danny and I being up in Alaska, which is not in real America here, or pretty much anytime we have to go to like any kind of bigger tournament, we have to fly out. My TSA story was going down to the Las Vegas Open one year. And the TSA agent saw me and was like, "Hey, is this your case?" I'm like, "Yep." And he was like, "Man, it's a pretty sweet army. You heading down to Las Vegas Open?" I'm like, "Whoa, I did not expect this conversation to happen." Like, I was expecting, okay, like, it's a chaos army, so it's like 50,000 spikes. So I'm getting ready to smooth everything out to get it on the plane. But yeah, it was just another fan, which goes to show kind of the widespreadness of it.
I did actually have a guy pull me aside one time, and the guy next to him called me Eldar scum. Going into it. I started laughing. I'm like, all right. I go, did I get pulled over for playing Eldar? He's like, maybe. It's like, also there's something in there that we couldn't see, but mainly for playing Eldar.
Excuse you, sir. It's Eldari scum now, please.
My bad. Eldari scum.
Yes, that's way better. Last question, then we're going to move on to our first game, which I'm very excited about here. So usually I ask people, like, one of my favorite questions is, if you had to share a cab from the airport to the venue, which 3 people would you share with? Now I'm going to go ahead and be like a little mean. You're going to disqualify the Art of War people. So no Art of War people can join you because they already got their own bus. Which 3
short bus? Yeah.
It's quite short. Which 3 people would you share a cab with from the airport to the hotel for a tournament?
You know what? I want to have my helper. I'm gonna scam out on this because I'm gonna take my wife because she goes with me to most of my tournaments, and I'm gonna get a big van because I'm gonna go with Pajama Pants and Mr. Sean Naden in that, and they're both about 1.5 feet taller than me. So I have to sit in the back somewhere. I might have to sit in the wheel well. You never know. But that's how I'm cruising with.
Amazing. Love it. Danny, any more questions here for Mr. Chester before I challenge Danny?
Yeah. So we have a question from the audience here from the Falcon asking
that's right.
whether you will be adding any unicorn-based models to your Drukhari or Orcs going forward.
100%. There cannot be enough unicorns in my army. As we see, I'm always ready. Uni is always in every tournament I go to. That would be a unicorn. I have all of the unicorn themed and base stuff. I'm hoping to have a fully unicorned out orc army. That will be after I get Mr. Helen on that. So, but yes, nice. I wanted all my riders. I already have Eldar guys that are in construction. I eventually get a craft world book, my Shining Spears I already bought the AOS unicorn riders
Oh, nice. Perfection.
I'm ready.
Oh man, love it. Well, lots of love coming in. Lots of people offering to build you anything, unicorn anything for you, which I think should take you up on. You can get like a unicorn themed car. Like it doesn't specify 40K.
It doesn't specify.
So
It
really
looks like
get
you also.
out there.
Oh, I was going to say, it also looks like you spent some points in charisma there, Brad. Convincing other people.
I had to because I had no other skills. He was like, I guess. Like he talked me into it. It looks. This is. I'll tell you how bad I am at this. I had the entire game score. This is the first time I bought models. This is back in 1999 when I first started. Ooh. The entire game store is sitting around me, and I go, "Why is everybody just staring at me?" One of my buddies goes, "Just open the box." And I had bought Chaos Terminators, and I was so excited. I'm like, all right. And I slid them out, and I went into a tirade because I'm like, where's the models? There's just these plastic sheets of stuff. I had no idea what a sprue was or anything. I just thought I was going to get 5 Terminators. And everybody, there's like literally all of the people that know me just sitting here staring at me, waiting for me to lose my mind about this, which I did. And all rantings that I can't say on this particular show, I would be bleeped out a lot and just goes, this. And then I attempted to put them together and I glued my hand to the table. And that's about the only time I've ever tried to put them up together after that.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Man, who would have thought? Flattened plastic models you assemble yourself. Craziness.
It's crazy.
And yeah, Nurgle Matthew in the chat looking like he is trying to summon the Falcon for reasons, I would assume.
It's better if we don't. It's better if we
don't go into it in this family show here, pretty much. So I do want to go in now to our first game. So every week after we talk to our guest, we're going to try and beat Danny, where we're going to put Danny against our guest in one of many various games that I've invented and want to play and very excited about. Guys, this week for the very first Beat Danny challenge, we're going to be playing top 150 ITC player from 2019 or a real estate broker from Pennsylvania. So I'm going to read out some names to you guys. You're going to beep in with your name and let me know if that person is an ITC player from 2019 or a current real estate broker in the state of Pennsylvania. Now,
what about if they're both?
just to be real clear about this so far, they are currently licensed in the state, and this isn't a prior thing here. So we're doing it very properly, officially, licensed real estate agents only. Guys, are you ready?
I'm focused.
I think
Hold on,
so.
Let me get my chi together.
Okay. I'm going to assemble our chi. I'm going to pretend to fake lean on this desk here. I got to green screen this better.
You're very good at that.
I try. It's my one thing is pretending to do things. That's kind of my skill.
That was
all right. Are we ready to go?
Yeah. Psyched.
Psyched. Okay. Let's go. Bethany Taylor.
40K player.
Yeah.
Yep. 40K player. That's Brad. Alex Schwartz.
Real estate agent.
Oh, yeah. Goes to Danny. Perfect. Daniel McDevitt.
Real estate agent.
Danny, that's you.
What? I was just about to say, isn't that your name?
Oh, no. Did I miss the point of this?
Yeah, Danny,
I thought you said top Warhammer players, not...
So you finished the 2019 season 113th overall. So that qualifies you for this competition. I don't know your status of real estate license in Pennsylvania, though. So it could, but I'm going to guess no.
No.
Richard Moore.
Real estate agent.
Yep, Danny's got it with the real estate agents. Elliot Levy.
40K player.
Yep.
He's beaten me before.
I was to say, I literally just played Elliot in the finals of the Armed Forces GT last week.
Oh, nice. He's really good.
We have Dash Dosku.
That's a superhero. I don't know if he's a real estate agent or not. Is that his secret identity when he's not fighting crime?
Yeah, real estate agent.
Okay, Danny, with the real estate agent. I was going to say It's not 40K player, real estate agent, or
Can-
superhero.
Can you
Because I feel like-
confirm 100% that he is not also a superhero?
I mean, for the safety of his family, no. Sadly,
I
no.
feel I should get a half point for possible superhero.
You know what? He deserves a half point, John. Give him a half
That's
point.
fair. We're gonna add that in. We have Andrew Ford.
40K player.
Got it. We have Michael Lynn.
40K player.
Oh, Danny, it's a real estate agent.
Oh, I was doing so good on those. It's like you're doing every other one as a
I
real
was going
estate
to say
agent.
there is a Lynn, but it's not Michael.
Jeez.
And then let me see here. So 1, 2, 3. So Danny, try and save some face here with these last two. We have Elliot Levy.
We already did that, but he's still a 40K player.
Oh yeah, look at me getting these wrong. David Fields.
Real estate agent, famous for having a Mrs. Fields franchise in Pennsylvania, actually. The inventor of Mrs. Fields.
So I'm going to give the point to Brad because it's a 40K player and you know it. But you're getting half a point for an elaborate backstory, which I really appreciate. It speaks to me.
I'm just assuming that this guy is also like one of your best friends because you missed yourself and somebody you know.
So at the end of the game, Brad, you scored 6.5 to Danny's 3.5. So well done on beating Danny.
I own Alaska now.
You own Alaska. Well, you get to now choose between one of two prizes, either 132 millimeter bases or a 3,000 word essay about why you shouldn't have to rebase your orc models.
I kind of want the orc essay now.
Yeah. That figures it out.
I would love
Alaska will now be known as Chester's Folly.
Yes. I'm just writing that on all maps I see also.
Which I'm now actually going to go to our local store owner and see if she can call our Saturday RTT Chester's Folly.
Yes.
Which I think would be like a very good thing to call it there. And then, yes, chat, missing your own name should make you lose immediately.
Don't judge me, chat. Don't judge me.
With the first episode, couple of technical difficulties, obviously. That's okay. Brad, you obviously have a ton of stuff going on 40K wise. Why don't you let everyone know what you're up to?
I am on all kinds of things. You see me on Mondays with Mr. Sean Maiden painting it up. I take 50% credit for anything he paints. Gentleman Gaming on Tuesdays. You'll see me almost every day on Something with the Art of War. I do all the clinics. You can't get enough of me. And then we stream games all over the place. You'll see us all the times. I'm somewhere all the time. I'm just behind you. Want to talk about 40K?
Oh,
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Johnny's
So
on
there
the
you
screen.
go.
You're safe.
I think if you guys take anything away, dear listener / viewer, depending on when you're watching this, from this episode, just know that Brad Chester is always behind you. Regardless of where you are.
Don't make it
what
weird.
you're
Just
doing.
let it happen.
Until you lose a game of 40K and then he's in front of you, so you're good.
He might not see me coming. I'm very short.
If this was our other show, Danny, I would have a soundboard with a little drum roll lined up for that there.
Yeah,
Maybe
thank
Zach, editor Zach, maybe like a little boost to that there. That's perfect. Perfect. Brad, thank you so much. Danny, anything else you want to add before we call it a week?
Man, thanks so much for coming on, Brad. It was really good to get to chat with you. You're an amazing guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You know what I need to end with here? What time is it for you guys in Alaska?
It is 7 p.m.
Yep.
This is shenanigans.
So
when
when it was live at 10 p.m. in 3 hours for us, it's all going to be new and exciting for us.
I love everything about that. Thanks again, guys.
All right, awesome. Well, for Grim After Dark, we will see you same bat time, same bat channel next Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. I've been John.
I've been Danny.
And he's been Brad. We'll see you next time.